It's adventure time. I'm going to take the Talaria out again, but this time I'm going to be going way up north about an hour and a half, and I'm going to be riding with another YouTube channel called the Talaria Boys. As you've seen in some of my past videos, I have the Talaria loaded up here onto my trailer, and it's being towed by my Tesla Model S 85D. I've got my stuff loaded up here in the back, and I'm currently charging it. But first, this is where I'm headed, all the way up here to near Eden, Utah. So it's going to be going up I-15 all the way up there. And you can see that the trip is estimated to be 77 miles one way, and it's going to be an hour and 31 minutes. The battery on the Tesla is at 100% as we start on this trip. So in this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how well this Tesla does towing the trailer and Talaria up to this location, as well as how well the battery in the Talaria performs as we're going on this ride. Let's get started. The car is estimating that we'll get to our destination with 61% on the battery. A minute ago, it was 63%. This is always in flux, especially when the battery is just freshly charged and the trip is just at the beginning. The question is, how much is this going to consume, because it doesn't know we're towing. So it's estimating it's going to take roughly 40% of the battery to get there, and so that would be 80% round trip, but 20% buffer because we're towing. I'm not sure. I might end up having to stop at a supercharger on the way home. We'll find out. I'm still 37 minutes away, or another 29 miles, but you'll see that we're still at 60%. So we're actually doing really well for this towing, considering that we're towing. If we look down here, the energy graph actually is at 324. That's quite normal. And you can see the energy over the last 30 miles. So surprisingly, this trailer really does not consume that much energy when I'm towing it with the Talaria on it. I am almost to my destination. We're only 7 more minutes away, and we're at 57%. So we have lost some. And you can see the terrain changed pretty dramatically. We've been going through the mountains. So our watt hours per mile is now up to 408. The views out here are beautiful, but it's definitely subdued now. We're past the prime fall color season. This is Pine View Reservoir right here. And I've arrived at the trailhead where everyone else is gathering, so you can see there's a bunch of other people here with Talarias. I'm going to get mine unloaded, so I'm ready to go. Dude, you got some bling on that.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
The new controller,
new bypass batteries coming in.
I saw you going up over Travers.
While I was coming here just now.
Yeah.
So you came a different route.
No, I was at the gas station.
Oh, I just went right past you, and here we are. Yeah.
And I was like, he's definitely going the same place.
You were right.
Have you ever been to one of these group rides?
No, I haven't.
Oh, we've never been to one either.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to join in.
How long have you had it?
A month.
Oh, dang.
About a month.
Well,
Thanks.
Alright guys, I think we're going to take off. It's kind of like a one-way trail. It splits off a couple of times, but it always meets up again. So you can take whichever side you want. We'll just stop periodically, but we'll try to keep cruising because we got such a big group.
Is destination just Lewis and back, or?
Yeah, we'll probably get up to the top and then see what everybody wants to do. We can always go. I think almost everybody would even have enough battery to go up and over and then back up. It's about 20 miles total, but you can always just turn around and come back down.
Let's do it to it.
You can see there's about 17 of us here. This is a much bigger group than I anticipated. This is going to be a dusty ride, I see. This wasn't really sure what the weather's been like up here, since we're about an hour and a half north of where I live. But it's obvious that it's been drier than where it is where I am, because it's quite wet up where I am right now. And with this many riders, it's going to be churning up the dust, of course. Starting out here at the beginning of the ride, my battery on the Talaria is at 100%. And I'm tracking this ride with Strava on my phone. So I've got that GPS data to report back at the end of the trip, all the stats, and see how well the battery of the Talaria lasted with those stats in mind. Moving time and total range is my main metrics that I pay attention to. Keep in mind my bike is all stock still, other than I've upgraded the front brakes, I guess. But performance-wise, everything is the same. Battery and motor and controller and everything. And I always keep it in level 4 regen. This is an evening ride, so it's clearly already getting dark. It's overcast, so we don't have the benefit of clear skies and getting the last of the sun's rays, unfortunately. So I guess I'll be seeing how well my stock headlight performs. I've ridden in the dark already a little bit, it's fine, but I've never ridden on a trail with this headlight. Right now we're climbing quite quickly on the edge here of Pine View Reservoir, so there's occasional glimpses, yeah, you can see right there, occasional glimpses of the reservoir below, at least a little finger of it. It's interesting not riding with gas bikes because I can usually tell where they are behind me from their sound, and now it's all Talarias. There was a gas bike at the beginning. I'm not sure if he was part of us or not, but he's not audible now, so I can't tell if there's anybody directly behind me just by sound. And I gotta pay attention to the trail right now. Okay, I just looked behind me. There's somebody. There's a line of people. So I've caught up with the front and I'm just part of the pack now. This is by far the largest group I've ever ridden with, regardless of what they're riding. And obviously, I've never ridden with another Talaria at all. So from being by myself with other gas bikes to being with 17, I think is what I counted other Talarias. And a Saran, there's e-bikes in general. It's quite the jump. These leaves are extra slippery. This is my first time riding on this thick of a bed of leaves.
Yeah, that was taking fun. Broke my handlebar off. Oh, you did? That's why I can't.
Hey, man. Whoa.
Dude, that's why I crashed. It snapped off. Snapped right off on me. Huh? It just snapped right off on me. Dude, I was riding a wheelie, came down, and the handlebar just sheared off.
Yeah, just don't go too crazy.
We've gone 4.5 miles, and my battery's at 80%, and we've been riding for almost 21 minutes. 15 riders, yeah. It's a good group. The guy with the broken handlebar just showed up.
I don't know what brand it is. I got tape and rope. I don't think that's gonna cover it.
Well, are you ruined or what?
Whew. This is definitely the steepest, rockiest, loosest, most difficult uphill climb I've done on my Talaria. Gotta be careful not to loop it. There we go. It is windy up here. Half a mile to this peak. All right, looks like I've gotten to the top. Oh, wow. Look at that view. Wow, what a stunning view. So back there is Pine View Reservoir. That's where we just came from. And you can see the headlights coming up here of some additional riders of our group. So down there, that's Eden, Utah. And then over this way, this is Ogden, Utah area. As an update on the ride, we're at 61% on the battery. We've gone 6.89 miles and we've been going for 39 minutes. Looks like we're gonna just chat for a bit. All right, we've been standing around talking for a bit, and they decided to go to another peak over in that direction, another 2 or 3 miles. So I'm going to join them on that, and then we'll be heading back to the parking lot, of course. I'm 61% on the battery. What are your percentages at?
36.
Okay, yeah, I'm at 61.
Oh,
I didn't get a fully charged before I came over. I was at 9.
This is a very steep, loose, rocky downhill, of course. I don't know how well the camera is showing in the darkness, but you can see dots of light across the mountain. And those are the riders already ahead of me. Alright, Lewis Peak, that's where we're headed, 2.3 miles. Junction of the Skyline Trail is where we just came from.
Hell no, dude, I'm going.
Alright, number 2 this time. This is my first time riding in complete darkness, and I don't think you can tell, but there's quite the drop off on my right side, so less than ideal that way, but that's part of the venture, and I feel pretty stable, and I'm not really exceeding my skills that I would go crashing off the cliff, I hope. But it is a new to me trail, and that's always a risk. If I had done it before, it's probably pretty different doing it in the dark. Oh, this looks really steep coming up. Yep, it is very steep. It's 56% on the battery. We've gone 8 miles and we've been going for an hour and 3 minutes. We're going to keep on going. Got to make sure I don't go off the edge of this trail. It's quite the drop off. All right, looks like we're arriving at the peak. Oh wow, another majestic view of the Ogden Valley, and this is a much more spread view. We can really see far north and south. So we started with close to 20 people, and are we down to 4, or are there more people coming?
There's way more people coming.
Oh yeah, there's a train.
Oh, that's
We're up here at Lewis Peak, and the battery's at 51% on my Talaria. We've gone 9.29 miles, and we've been going for an hour and 10 minutes. All right, we've finished visiting, and we're heading back down. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us up here at this peak. So as we're heading back down now, I'm at 51% on the battery, and I'm probably not going to be a whole lot less than that because it's mostly downhill. And we've gone 9.3 miles, so this is going to end up being nearly a 20-mile ride. Oh, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, do you need help?
Well, it looks like we're good.
Good. There's a dark abyss on my right side. And it is starting to rain. It's been sprinkling for a little while actually. And up on the top of the peak it was raining then as well.
I'm gonna wait for this guy and make sure he's all good. But Rid and Lance are a little ways behind. They told me to keep going.
Okay, so I'll keep going then?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's that really sharp corner. So now I know we are almost back to the bottom. All right, here's the back to the blacktop. And just like that, I am back to the parking lot. And I'm at 39% on my battery. And here's the final stats of the run. We were going for 2 hours and 19, almost 20 minutes. We went a total of 18.69 miles and an average speed of 8 miles per hour. And an elevation gain of 4,421 feet. And then there's a few other stats here which I'll gloss over. And then down here you can see the map of where we rode. And if I pull that up full screen, you can see the parking lot is where we left from over here. and then it had a couple of tight switchbacks there at the beginning as we were going up in elevation quite dramatically. And then, like they said too, that the trail splits a couple of times and you can go on either side, not a big deal. Eyrie Peak is where we looked out at the view initially, and then I continued with another group of people to continue out here to Lewis Peak, which definitely has the more broad view across all of this Ogden Valley area here. And then we rode on back. So that red line is that entire ride. And if we look down here, we can see the elevation change throughout that. So the blue dot on the map is showing where we were, and you can see the elevation throughout that ride. Now if we switch over here to the analysis screen, it shows that same thing, but we can also see the speed down here and then estimated power. It's interesting to see how we're going up in elevation, and then once we get to right here, the elevation is actually just up and down undulations, and it's fairly consistent elevation there on the top of the mountain, and then we come back down from here. I finished packing up all my stuff in the back of my car. I loaded up my Talaria onto the trailer. I'm going to talk to these guys and say goodbye and then head home. I am back in the Tesla. I'm going to head home now. I was just chatting with the guys, and there were, sounds like 3 Surons and the rest were Talarias. I counted up to 17 Talarias at the beginning, but one of them ended up being a gas dirt bike that went by, and I'm not sure if I counted them, but we did have 15 people at the top. So this was a really fun group ride. It was my first time riding at night, and definitely the first time with a group of Talaria riders. And so now heading home, I've got an hour and 15-minute drive ahead of me, 77 miles, and it's estimating that I'll get home at 9%. So that's looking promising, but once again, I'm towing, so it takes more energy. We'll see how it goes. And it looks like I'll be getting home about 10:05. And over here, the battery on the Tesla is at 54%. And I'm home. And this is what the energy graph looks like over the last 30 miles. And so we're at 415 watt hours per mile. And we ended up getting home at 10% on the battery. So it was actually surprisingly accurate, but I guess that's because it was based off of the driving up there, and roughly the terrain was the same. I just plugged in the car, and as you can see, I have it set to a charge limit of 90%, and it's charging at 40 amps. And it's currently at 10%, and it's estimating that it will get up to 90% in 6 hours and 45 minutes, just to give you an idea of how long this takes to charge from 10% to 90%. In general, though, I love driving this car, and I love riding the Talaria, and the two together, it was a fun evening of driving up there and riding the trails. I hope it was helpful to see all the information about how well this technology is working for me. And obviously driving that far away, round trip, used up 90% of my battery. So now I know pretty much what my range is if I'm going to be towing it with my Tesla. So with that, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.